Hello there, fellow NPCs. I'm Scythe, and today we're getting back into the house in Fata Morgana. We have just been talking to Nelly and told her the truth about Saint's Blood. She was not very happy about that, but we have finished the first step, in a way, to saving Morgana's mind. Not her life, because I don't believe we're actually traveled back in time, but her mind, her mindset. So yeah. Now we just have to see what Mell is going to think about this. He's going to be very upset, but his life is going to get better because of it, I think. Let's hope so. And now I guess we only have to should take care of the beast next. So with that said, let's go. Ah, did you just get back? The Saintess was telling me you went to see Nelly. What do you think? Sweet girl, isn't she? That she is. Though she can be a bit of a handful at times. I'm glad you could keep her company for a bit. Now, just to be sure, you kept a lid on all your crazy talk, right? She treated me to some tea, nothing more. Ah, the stuff with the flower petals in it, yeah? She thinks it's some kind of charm to make it taste better. Girl seems to have a thing for stuff like that. Well, it's actually true though, they are... First of all, tea is just hot leaf water, as it were, but also you can eat certain flowers, like rose petals. So yeah, that's a thing. Mell. Could you spare a bit of time for me? We need to talk. Oh, sure. Can it wait a bit, though? I have to run a little errand after supper. When I'm done with that, I'll meet you in your room. Alright. You think the errand is... bringing Morgana her meal, presumably. We might be able to catch the three of them opening the door if we trail Mell. It's too big a risk. Mell's already wary enough as it is. I concur. And we don't know how the other two might react either. It's best to play it safe. No one's going to come to our defense if we're caught, not at this point in time. So we'd be better off waiting in our room. Agreed. Which is an insane thing to think about when you look at it, actually. Hey, I know this person is being tortured over here, and I have an opportunity to do something. An opportunity? I don't know how big of a chance though, but I have an opportunity. But the chance of success is too small. I have to let them be there and get tortured for a little while longer. That is a fucked up thing to think about, but completely necessary, unfortunately. Agreed. Though winter has receded and spring is well upon the land, there's still a sharp chill in the night air. Even with the window shut, the wind still manages to slip through the cracks, making the candle flame waver. Neither Giselle nor I say much of anything, but nevertheless, when she does speak, the sound of her voice, soft and pleasant, relaxes my nerves. The faint sound of her breathing reminds me I'm not alone, that she's there, always watching over me. When the candle is about half gone, the door swings open. Sorry it took so long. What did you want to talk about? You didn't bring anyone with you? No, I didn't. Who do you think I would bring? No one. I was just checking. Now, I'll get straight to the point. You're afflicted with a great deal of remorse, are you not, Mell? Pardon? I know what you're doing, what you're involved in. I know the girl at the top of the observation tower very well. Her name is Morgana, and you have her imprisoned in the tower. The door requires 3 keys to open, of which you possess 1. You need her for her miracle blood. How? I came here to stop you. How? How do you know any of that? It's not possible she could have told anyone. Did one of them tell you? No, it wasn't them. I was told all of this by Morgana herself. How could she... And why is he looking so angry? Is he actually a psychopath? I hate that trope. When they go from nothing to everything. Negative 100, not even 0, negative 100 to 100. I hate that. What I'm about to tell you is going to seem impossible, but every word of it is the truth. I am not from this time. Many, many years after her death, Morgana's soul told me what happened to her. What? What are you even talking about? She's still alive. You're not from this time? What? Are you mad? Can you come up with any other explanation for how I would know everything I know? It's a single window in the room at the top of the tower. A small, insignificant thing that sits high upon the wall. And entirely useless for communicating with the outside world. In 3 days' time, during the Harvest Festival, Morgana will die. And I must prevent that from happening. Prevent it? To do that, I need your key. Will you give it to me? There you go, talking nonsense again. You know, I warned you not to kick up any dust for your own sake. But I guess that didn't get through, huh? I don't care who you are or where you come from. All that matters is that you intend to stand in our way. What? Do you think I was just a helpless little boy? That you could take my key without any trouble? Well, okay. It's very interesting because he was very easy to handle as a shadow. Well, you'd be right about that. If it was only me, stealing my key and setting her free would be a trivial matter. But it's not only me. And the other two, they won't hesitate to kill you. Your life, anyone's life, means nothing to them. You don't know what they're like. How terrifying they can be. They're killers. I'll tell them everything you told me. I'll tell them you know our secret. And don't come crying to me when they come for you. I warned you. Is that what you want? Will you find the comfort you seek by being their devoted little slave and keeping Morgana imprisoned in that tower? What else can I... If you feel at all ashamed about your part in this, if you want to do something to correct it, then you need to take that step. You cannot fix this problem on your own, no. But I am here to help. I am not ashamed about anything. Don't lie to yourself. Don't act like you know how I feel. What the hell is your deal anyway? You show up out of nowhere spouting all this "I'll save you and I'm here to help" rubbish. You need to do this for your sister. See, now that's ridiculous. If I wash my hands of this, I won't have access to the witch's blood anymore. And without that, Nelly can't get better. She'll die without that blood. Her blood has no miraculous healing powers. You only believe it does, making it appear to work. You're mad. Morgana's blood is not curing Nelly. In fact, it may very well be killing her. If you keep giving her that blood, Nelly will also lose her life during the Harvest Festival. What? You're standing on the precipice of a horrific tragedy, and you're going to take everyone down with you if you don't turn back now. What are you? All three of you are going to lose everything on the day of the festival. And there's only one way to prevent that. You have to set Morgana free. You're insane. If you think I would believe that, Nelly is going to die? Could you have told me a more mean-spirited lie? You're the one who's trying to kill her. I'm just trying to save her. And you're going about it the entirely wrong way. Do you have any idea how lonely your sister is right now? You should be at her side. That's what you should be doing instead of stealing a poor girl's blood. I've heard enough. What do you know? If I lose Nelly, I'll have no one. My whole world will collapse. This was the only way I could keep that from happening. This was my best option, my only option. So no, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep Morgana locked up, and I'm going to keep stealing her blood. And I'll hand you over to the other two. I'll have them kill you. You'll regret ever showing your face. Damn. Damn! Mel, is that really true? What? What? Do you really have the Scythe locked up? What? Why? What are you doing here, Nelly? That man told me I had to talk to you, and he said if I didn't have the courage to do it myself, to wait outside his room tonight, because he was going to get the truth from you. You conniving son of a... You were planning this all along! Why? Why would you? Tell Nelly. Why would you bring her of all people into this? Mel. Tell me, Mel. Is it true? Nelly, are you really keeping the Saintess prisoner and stealing her blood? And you said you would have him killed. I never thought you were such a terrible person, Mel. I can't believe you would do such despicable things. No, you're not my brother anymore. Nelly! Michelle, go after her. Yeah, we're going to trust. And I was also fast there because these have been timed events before, but I am trusting, and I'm not taking that chance again, I mean. But I am also trusting Giselle on this. We'll see how that works, however. We have to stop her. Bring her back. Nelly! Don't follow me, just go away. Leave me alone. Stop. If you run away from him now, Mel will never come back from this. Then why did you tell me? Why did you tell me what he was doing? If you hadn't said anything, everything would still be fine. We wouldn't be in this horrible mess. If you hadn't said anything, I could have kept on believing in him. No, things wouldn't be fine. Why can you not see that? You shouldn't put your faith in your ideal brother. But your real one. The boy in that room stricken with regret. If I hadn't said anything, the facade would have ruined your both sooner or later. No, in truth, your relationship was already broken. You're simply ignoring the spreading cracks. I know, on some level you have realized that Mel was keeping something incredibly important from you, and that secret was tearing you apart. Yes, there's nothing good about this though. Now we'll never go back to the way we were. We can never go back to what it was like when we were kids. Just the two of us, playing together every day, having fun. Everyone's childhood comes to an end. The flow of time is impartial. You cannot fight it. What you can do, what only you can do, is choose how you change. But I will admit, I am the one who opened your wounds, and now I'm putting the responsibility of tending to them onto you. It is cruel, I know. But if you don't come to terms with Mel and make him withdraw his participation, even greater suffering awaits you far in the future. It is not over yet, and you cannot let this be there where it ends. The bonds you formed over the years are not yet broken, and you can do what I was never able to. Right. Is that a parallel to his life? You can still repair your relationship. But I'm scared. Scared that my brother, that my Mel could do such terrible things. That he could say, he would kill you. He used to be such a good brother. He was always so kind, so friendly to everyone. But it was all a lie. It was all a big act to fool me. No, it was not all an act. There was truth to it. He is a kind-hearted boy, an ordinary young man, whose kindness was twisted by circumstance. And it doesn't matter how good a person someone is. Everyone has the potential to do terrible things when backed into a corner. You think you know everything? I know that much. Nelly, if you want your brother back, you have to act now. Please, you must take action. But I'm scared. What am I supposed to say to him? I don't know. I'll be there with you. You don't have to face this alone. There's more to this story than we've heard. We don't know how he got himself involved in this, and I mean to get the rest out of him. And you need to be there to hear it. When I hear what he has to say, I try to say something I shouldn't. If I try to say something that will ruin everything, you'll stop me? You're the one who told me to open my eyes and face him. You're the one who made this whole mess. What am I supposed to do if all this destroys everything I have? You said you'd be my brother, right? So be a good brother and help me out here. Promise me to make sure nothing goes bad. You'll do that, won't you? Aye. Michelle, just say yes. We won't let this go bad. Have faith in yourself. Faith that you put the relationship on track to recovering. Promise her. Give her the courage she wants from you. You have nothing to fear. I'll be there for you. I'll help you both. Okay. I'll do it. I'll go back. Thank you, Giselle. Oh, don't mention it. Now, let's go see what he has to say for himself. Let's draw back that curtain. Yes, let's. Nelly. Mell? What did you come back for? To ridicule me? I'm not the brother you thought I was, huh? Not at all what you wanted me to be. It's all over. Everything Michelle said is true. There's a girl in prison in the tower. A completely innocent girl. A girl who saved your life, in fact. Go on. Tell me how cruel and terrible and evil I am. I am no prince. Here's an idea. Why don't you make him your new prince? You can do it, Nelly. Ask him. You have your reasons, don't you? You have some reason for being a part of this, right? A reason? Yeah. I have a reason, all right. I wanted to save your life. I needed her blood to cure you, so I had her locked up. Tell me the truth. I don't remember much about when the Saintess came to visit, but I do remember a little. I remember her saying she would gladly give whatever she could to the sick and needy. Which means you had no need to lock her up. It would seem the tale Morgana showed me was true. She really was a saint. Yes, she was. Tell me the truth, Mell. Tell me everything. There's nothing to tell. There is. I know it. There's more to that story than just the facts. The things you thought, the things you felt, are all pieces that combine to make the whole story. Isn't that right, Michelle? You're exactly right. If you hadn't said anything, we could have gone on with our lives as normal. No, Mell. We couldn't have. I thought so too at first, but it's not true. Our normal lives ended long ago. Tell me the truth, Mell. No matter what it is, I can handle it. No, Nelly. You can't. A girl like you, who dreams of becoming a princess, couldn't possibly bear to see how hideous her brother has become. How can I know if you don't say anything, though? That's how it always has been with us. You were nice to me, and that was all I needed. I never looked beyond the surface. I made you into my ideal brother, and I latched onto that image of you. So, they are very adult in their speech. Have I misjudged their ages? How old would you say they are? I don't remember if that was ever stated, but I was thinking 14 on Mell, perhaps. 10, 12 on Nelly. They are very adult in their speech. You're a kind person, Mell. You really are. So kind you played along with my fantasy that you were a prince. But you don't have to act for me anymore. I want to know the real you. I'm all done being a princess. I'm just your little sister now, nothing more. Your one and only little sister, Mell. You need to do this, Mell. You need to tell your story. Until you do, we have no way of understanding what you've been through, what you're going through. No way. If I tell you, you lose any hope you had left in me. As Nelly said, you need to release yourself from your own idealized fantasy, Mell. You have someone right here who will accept you for who you are. I know good and well just how hard it can be to have someone dare to see a side of you that you didn't want to show them. I think you want to get it off your chest, though. And I think you want forgiveness. Fantasies are not everlasting. They all crumble eventually. Show us the real Mell. Tell us your story, without embellishments or omissions. Mell. Oh, okay. I'll tell you. Not like I have any other options. Nelly, if at any point you can't bear to hear anymore, so be it. You're free to leave whenever you like. I won't go anywhere. I can almost guarantee you. I pray that ends up being true. Alright, here goes. The whole story, from start to finish, of how I ended up in this mess. Until around the time I turned 17. Okay, so he's 17. My life was mostly uneventful. One day when it was nice out, I would take walks around the house's grounds. Sometimes napping beneath a tree. It was picturesque. And you were always there with me. You have the same flax-colored hair as me, but yours always seemed to glisten in the sun. Whereas mine is flat and dull. You shone like a tiny little dancing sun. At the time, I assumed that was how life would always be. I genuinely wanted it to be. Following my 17th birthday, though, I was met with a deluge of changes. First, father fell ill and passed away shortly thereafter. With his death came the question of who would be the next head. As the oldest son, normally it would fall on me to take his place. I was 17, by all means enough of an adult to handle things myself. Or, well, that's what I thought anyway. Nobody else did though. After discussions I had no part in, it was decided that my uncle would be the next head. That they weren't confident I had the spine to do the job properly. I wasn't sure what to think. Part of me wanted to know why anybody bothered to talking to me, and part of me was relieved. Somewhere inside, I knew I didn't have what it took. So I was more than happy to let someone else take that responsibility. If it meant I could go on with my quiet life, I didn't care who they picked. My uncle, though, seemed to have caught on to my apathy, which he did not take kindly to. And in response, he formally disowned me. You're not the only one who still had some growing up to do, Nelly. I wasn't quite the adult I thought I was either. Yeah, so we don't even get to see their good wealth life. It just takes off right off when they moved out, I guess. Fortunately, if you want to call it fortune, I was given enough money to live on for a decent length of time, as well as a place to stay. It was a small house, far from home, his way of making it hard for me to come back. Not that I had any intention of returning. But the best thing to come out of it all was you coming with me, Nelly. So this is our new home, dearest Mell. Yep, so it is. It's amazing how little there is. No big yard, no paintings, no vases filled with colorful flowers, no silver bowls full of fresh-picked fruit. But there is you and me. You're not going to go and say you want to return home in a couple of months when you realize life isn't as luxurious here as it was back there, are you? There's only one thing in the whole wide world I really need. No. Honestly, I can live without shiny shoes and pretty dresses like Mother wears. I don't need composers to come and write me songs for my birthday. As long as I have the one thing that matters most to me, I can do without anything else. Are you saying... I'm as happy as I've ever been. I don't need all that fancy expensive stuff. We may not have a huge yard, but the sun shines everywhere. Flowers can grow even without a garden attending to them. Nelly. I'll do whatever I can for you, dearest Mell. Are you hungry? I'm hungry. No, yeah, a bit. Alright, I'll make something then. Start off with some fruit jam, then maybe make a pie out of it. What else sounds good? I'm craving cookies. You got quite a sweet tooth. You're going to make yourself sick like that. That's the first smiles I've seen since we got here. But that can't be right. I'm sure I've been smiling. Nope, you've been frowning all day. Whatever you say. Forget about all that stuff at home. We got each other. We can do this. Who cares that we're not rich anymore? We'll figure things out in no time. And then we'll have even more fun than we did back there. Yeah, you're right. It'll all work out, dearest Mell. I'll always be here for you. You got yourself an adorable little princess. What more could you possibly need? Cheer up. Thanks. I'm really glad you decided to come with me. Did you think for a second I wouldn't? I'm your princess, dearest Mell. And princesses belong with their princess. I suppose so. Until that day, I had never known how good it felt to have someone who wanted me in their life. Who saw me for me. I realized for the first time how blessed I had always been. I was hardly prince material. I wasn't strong or handsome or regal enough for that. But Nelly calling me her prince gave me the illusion of being worth something. It made me feel like I could keep on being that richly blessed young man, even this far away from home. While I had been given some money, my supply was far from infinite. I knew I would eventually have to find some kind of work, some way to support myself and Nelly. But to be quite honest, I couldn't gather the motivation to do much of anything. My whole life had changed so abruptly, so dramatically, that my mind just wasn't able to keep up. If it had knocked me on my backside, and I didn't have the strength to get back up. I couldn't tell Nelly that, of course, so this is what I said instead. I'm staying home because I want to be with you as much as possible. And she happily took me at my word. Our new life together was quite unremarkable. Even so, it was still a constant stream of new experiences for the two of us, having been pampered our entire lives. Welcome home, dearest Mell. What did you buy today? I got a chicken. Wow, I've never seen one up so close before. Are we going to keep it as a pet? I was planning on using it for supper. What? You're going to cook it? That's the idea. You like chicken though, don't you? Steamed especially, if I remember right. Yes, but it's all covered in feathers and flapping about. How are you supposed to cook it? If I remember, the guy said you have to pluck its feathers, then cut off its head and drain all the blood. Yeah, oh, no way, absolutely not. Not in a million years. You do it, Mell. What? I've never done this before. Well, I'm not, so you do it. Alright. I'll bring it to the... Not inside, do it outside. Oh, okay. I never had to slaughter a chicken before. The chefs back home always took care of it. God, I hope I don't screw this up. Well, I'm not going to accomplish anything if I just sit here worrying. Just gotta give it to my best shot. Oh, please don't put up a fight. That's why you grab them by the legs and swing around. That's what I was told. I never tried it myself, of course, but we did have chickens. But that was for eggs. Oh, I can't watch. On the count of 3, okay? Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Wait! Come back! It's gone. At first, I was just fumbling about in the dark, constantly messing up everything I tried. But in the time, I started getting more comfortable with things, and I stopped pining for my old life. For the longest time, I couldn't shake the memory of the fact that I had once been a noble. I was constantly wondering how I had ended up here. Ended up there. Why this was happening to me. Nelly had seemed to have adjusted fairly quickly, but I wasn't faring so well. I was surprised, honestly. I figured if anyone was going to have an issue with our new lifestyle, it was going to be her, not me. Back home, Nelly had tended to be, well, a bit of a princess. She was frequently harsh with the Abigails, scolding them for the smallest of things. There were times I thought she might be biting her tongue for my sake, but every time it crossed my mind, she would say, "I've got you, dearest Mell, everything's just fine." And it was those words that kept me going. "Oh, dearest Mell, I just had the most wonderful idea. Would you like to hear it?" "Sure, what's your idea?" "We should get married." "What? You can't be serious." As serious gets. I mean, we're basically married already in everything but name. We can't do that. We're siblings. Nobody here needs to know that. They can guess from our hair and eye color, though. I don't think we look that much alike. Anyway, whatever gave you that idea? If we get married, then we can be together forever. We can do that just as well as brother and sister. It's not the same, though. No one ever says that two siblings live happily ever after. I want to be with you for the rest of my life, dearest Mell. So she did confess her feelings? I thought she didn't. And the best way to do that is to get married. But Nelly, what are you so hesitant for? Is there someone you pine for? No, but then there's no problem. We're blood-related siblings. Does she realize that getting married means eventually having children and everything that leads up to that? That goes against the teachings of the Lord. No, she's still just a kid chasing after a fairy tale ending. She doesn't understand the reality of what she's saying. Sometimes, I'm not sure what to do with you, Nelly. She has an idea. He thinks she's just being a child. So, you'll marry me? But right now, I know you need God's word. Starting tonight, you're getting your own private sermon every night. Understand? Blah! He didn't even respond. My instruction was as much for my own sake as it was for Nelly's. I'm not going to lie, the thought did cross my mind that her proposition might not be so bad. For one, I couldn't imagine spending the rest of my life with anyone else, and it had to have been her smile that kept me going when things got difficult. But I knew that it was a sin, and I don't think I would be able to live myself if I crossed that line. So night after night, I taught her, reminded her that we were brother and sister, and that we didn't have to be anything more for her to be the most important person in the world to me. And after about a third month away from home... Okay, that's an interesting way. Okay, yeah, now I get it. Yeah, I get it. Then life began crumbling. No? Nelly woke up one day with a high fever that refused to break. At first, I thought it was just a cold and that she'd be over it soon enough. But as much as I tried to convince myself, oh, she'll be better tomorrow, she just kept getting worse, until eventually, she couldn't even get out of bed. She had visibly lost weight, and I had never heard her voice so weak and lethargic before. Is there anything you'd like me to get you, Nelly? All I want is you to be here with me, dearest Mell. You really should eat something. I'll make something you like. How about a nice expensive chicken? The last one got away, but I won't let that happen this time. I'm not really in the mood for anything too heavy. Oh, okay. Don't you worry, Mell. I'll be better before you know it. Yeah, you will. You'll be just fine. Everything's going to be back to normal soon. Watching Nelly grow weaker every day scared the hell out of me. I desperately did not want to lose her. If I lost her, then who would be left that wanted me? Who would tell me I was worth something? Who would say nice things about me? Who would be there with me every day? Just when I had started to feel optimistic about this new life, I started to feel comfortable in it, it was looking like it might fall apart again. I searched everywhere for some medicine that could cure her. Healthy foods, fruits and vegetables with supposed medicinal properties. Anything I could get my hands on. I prayed. And Nelly, you were overjoyed. You were thrilled I would go to such lengths for you. But the reality is, I was really doing it for myself. Yeah. He didn't want to be alone. But as much as I searched, I couldn't find anything that worked, and I started to panic. I would go to bed at night afraid I'd wake up the next morning, and Nelly wouldn't. I was already grasping at straws, and I was ready to try anything that I had even the slightest chance of curing her. And then one day, I heard whispers. Whispers of a witch who lived by the lake. They said she was a recluse, that she hardly ever left her house, and that she hadn't been down to the city in years. They told me she might have some medicinal herbs that could help, so I rushed down to the lake to see her. Sitting by the shore was a small cottage, even less luxurious than where Nelly and I were living at the time. Seeing the thin trails of smoke rising from the chimney, I was convinced the rumors were true. A witch lived in that house. I wasn't sure what to expect. Being a recluse, I figured she wasn't going to be very sociable at least. To tell you the truth, I was kind of scared to knock on her door. But I had exhausted all my other options, so I clenched my teeth and gave the door 2 firm raps. Who's there? The sound of her voice caught me off guard, and all I could do was stare at the door with a knot in my throat. Based on the information I had, I'd assumed I was going to find a wrinkly old woman. But that was the voice of a young girl. And even though she'd only said 2 words, there was something incredibly enchanting about that voice. I could listen to her talk for hours on end, in some kind of strange, hypnotic trance. It was almost like magic, for lack of a better word. I stood there dumbfounded, like my soul had been sucked from my body. Who's there? She repeated her question, which brought me back to reality. Though I still had to fight to maintain my wits enough to respond coherently. My sister has fallen very ill, and she desperately needs medicine. I was told that the person who lives here is a skilled herbalist. Could I please get something to treat her? What are her symptoms? She's got an extremely high fever that won't come down. She has no appetite. She's only drinking water, and she can't get out of bed. We're going to want to lower her fever first. After that, get her a nutritious diet. I'm going to give you 2 medications. Give her the first while her fever is high, and the second after it comes down. Thank you very much. Her voice wasn't bright and energetic like Nelly's. It was more restrained, somber and quiet, yet simultaneously clear and sharp. The sound tickled my curiosity. I wanted to know what she looked like. I wanted to know what kind of girl stood on the other side of that door. With a voice that pretty, she must be equally lovely, I thought. And I had to see it for myself. And my wish didn't fall on deaf ears. When she opened the door to hand me the herbal medicine and take my money, her head peeked out between the cracks ever so slightly. I said I would tell you everything, exactly as it happened, so I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. It was unsettling. It was nothing like I had imagined from her voice. Her skin had, I guess, fallen off or something, because you could see the raw, red flesh beneath. To say it was hard to look at would be an understatement. Most of her face was covered by a black hood, so all I could see was her mouth and chin, but even that much was harrowing. But the last thing I wanted to do was look away. For all I knew, that was why she had become a recluse. And I couldn't let myself hurt her, so I suppressed my own disgust and put on my best smile. People often tell me I have a very pleasant, amiable smile, so I figured I could use that to prevent her from picking up on what was actually going through my mind. And when she saw my face, a look of surprise seemed to cross hers. I wanted to see her. I wanted to see that CG. The witch's herbs did, in fact, indeed, seem to help some. Going to visit her was better than talking to any of the local doctors. Nonetheless, Nellie hadn't been cured. She was only feeling a little bit better. So I kept paying the witch visits, kept purchasing more herbs from her. And every time I went to that cottage and heard her sweet voice, I imagined how much sweeter it would sound with a door obstructing it. I imagined how much sweeter it would sound without a door. Oh, thank Lord. Yeah, I thought he saw her and wanted, you're so ugly, I want the face up there. But no, without a door obstructing it. Even knowing what she looked like didn't stop the curiosity from growing within me. From what I gathered talking to her, there wasn't much of an age difference between us either. She was 16 and I was 17. And I'm sure you know how it is. When you meet someone around your age, you feel sort of sense of kinship. This girl I had originally believed to be some kind of otherworldly witch was starting to feel like a regular person like me. Through our conversations, I managed to learn her name, as well as the fact that she had come here from a faraway country. We were both a long way from home. Thinking she might open up even more to someone who had been through a similar experience, I decided to try inviting her to go on a walk with me. It's not healthy to stay holed up inside all the time. You got this beautiful lake right here. What do you say we take a little walk around the shoreline? To my surprise, she accepted. Great weather, isn't it? I love the way the sun reflects on the surface of the lake. It's gorgeous. Are you okay? I'm in disbelief, to tell you the truth. Huh? What for? You've seen my face, you know how hideous I am, and still you invited me on a walk. You're a very peculiar person. Is it really that strange? I mean, you're almost the same age, so I figure we might make pretty good friends. You want to make friends? With me? Well, sure. We've been through a lot of the same things, so we can understand each other better than most. Understand each other? Yeah, we're both young, but we've been through some rough times. I'm going to be blunt with you. You have not been through anything like I have. What? No? If you had experienced the things I have, you wouldn't be smiling right now. I haven't known you long, but I don't need to have in order to know how unequivocally dissimilar we are. That we were cut from very different cloth. Well, yeah, we're people. We're not made of cloth, so... That's not what that means, you know. Oh. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be so harsh. In fact, I would say you're much better off not being in my position. It sounds like you've been through a lot. If you don't mind me asking, what happened to you? I'd be happy to lend an ear. I might make you feel better to get it off your chest. And that is what's so different about us. I will not tell you about myself, no. That said, I do appreciate the concern. Thank you. Oh, sure. You're welcome. She's not very open with people, huh? Though I guess that's only to be expected. She hasn't spent much time around other people, looking the way she does. I wonder if there's anything I can do for her. At least get her to show a little bit of emotion. Say, if it's not too much to ask, you think we could maybe do this again sometime? Don't expect me to lower my prices. I'm not trying to squeeze a better deal out of you. I just want to get to know you better. Nothing more to it. No ulterior motives. Promise. Did you forget I've already said I won't be telling you about myself? Alright, then it doesn't have to be about you. We can talk about anything, whatever you want. Do you have a favorite food? Any hobbies? Nothing in particular. Well, that was a fruitful conversation. Oh, okay, crap. I have no interest or tastes worth mentioning. So if you want to talk, I suppose that leaves you to be the subject. Me? Tell me about yourself. My life is not all that exciting. Anything I had to tell you would probably just bore you. I'm not looking for excitement. Okay. Well, alright then. I guess I can tell you about myself. And so I did. I told her about my family situation, and I told her about Nelly, and that was pretty much all I had to talk about. For the most part, she hardly even reacted to anything I said, so it was difficult to tell if she was listening or not. But she would urge me to continue whenever I'd go quiet for more than a few moments, so I suppose she was listening. Every time I came to purchase more medicine, we would go on a walk around the lake together. A single loop around the shoreline didn't give us much time to talk, but my attempts to reduce our walking pace or stop to extend our time together were flatly ignored. And she refused to go around more than once, claiming it would disturb her daily rhythm. That said, she never refused an invitation either, so I don't think she particularly disliked me. Yet, anyway. I think that would be a good place to cut off for now. This is Mell's reason, part 1, essentially. Yeah, and now it's all going to go downhill, where he, for some reason, decides to imprison Morgana, torture her, take her arm, all that. Oh no, I guess we have to give Nelly some fresh blood first. But yeah, that is all going to happen eventually anyway. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.